We have learned handler function for AWS Lambda function, and we have also learned the event object. And now we are going to learn in this video about the context object. So what is context object? It provides runtime information of the Lambda function like function name, version, and other informations. It provides you detail about the execution environment as well, like memory limit and other constraints. It provides some information, some properties and methods as well that can be used for coding Lambda function in either of the languages like Python, Ruby, Node, JavaScript, Java, and other languages. So event object was the earlier object that is called firstly when information from a trigger has to be stored, and the context object provides the runtime information like logs. It brings the log details, and then there will be callback object that we are going to learn later. So as you can see here, there are some properties and methods for this context object. Using this context object, we can check function name, check function version, get invoked for function ARN. As we know that a single AWS Lambda function can have a various versions like version 1, version 2, version 3, 4.5, and so on. We can check dependency based on a certain version. Similarly, we can each Lambda function has a separate Amazon resource name or ARN that can be invoked using context.invoke function ARN method or property. We can check memory limit in MBs. We can check AWS request ID. We can find log group name or log stream name. Similarly, there is a method. There are various methods actually, but one of them is most useful. It is to find remaining time in milliseconds for timeout. Uh, as you know, in AWS cloud, everything is charged on the pay as you go method. The running cost, running time makes the cost. The time duration for which your Lambda function is to be executed and run, you will be charged based on that time. So we have to set a timeout. For example, if a certain trigger is done and a Lambda function is not responding within a given time frame, then we must terminate the Lambda function and set a timeout. If we don't set a timeout and wait for infinite time or a very long time, you will be heavily paid for unuseful unuseful process. So we have to set the timeout to be as low as possible, and we can get remaining time in millisecond using the context. So this is a simple script that we write on Lambda function. It begins with export.myhandler handler function. You could write any name. Pass three objects: event, context, and callback. The context object uh, is associated with console.log, as you can see in this third line, fourth line. We can set log values, the information, and run a callback. So when you run this thing, it generates a success hello from Lambda that was passed using to the console to the callback method, and it brings various log output. As here we can set timeout, And memory limit, it shows the log details, the memory limit like 128 MB, function name hello world, log group name, log stream name, remaining time in millisecond, and other information that could be useful to us. We can set configuration for this, for example runtime, the handler name, the role and description. The context object could be used for identifying the time remaining time in milliseconds by writing it in a format console.log in brackets context that get remaining time in millis. It will return the time that is remaining to be run, the waiting time. So this was context object. We can build a huge solution using this fundamental and simple looking object. There are a long range of parameters, properties, and methods available. Go through the documentation, and we are going to build a good solution. Later, we are going to learn about callback objects in next video. So keep learning and keep moving ahead.